Hey everybody, I want to do this video lecture about all things Microsoft Teams. So this is assuming that you're new to Microsoft Teams. So really Teams is going to be our primary platform for how you and I communicate this semester. It'll be the place where I post lectures, give you different handouts and information, um, post assignments. It'll be where you submit your assignments. And it'll also be where I give you grades. So everything will be done on this platform. It also is a spot where you and I can chat with each other um, instead of, say, email. I actually prefer if you contact me on Teams. I tend to be much more responsive than email. And of course, we can do all of our video chats on here as well. So you can do normal, just syntax, verbal chats to me. Hey, Kevin, I'm having a question about so and so, and I need some help on this. Is there a time we can meet? I can respond to you, and we can set up a video chat together, or whatever the case may be. So this is really going to be your this is our classroom essentially. Um, so for me, I'm teaching 3 classes this semester, and you can see the 3 on the screen right there. And let's go into Architectural Software 1 and sort of just take a tour. So right now, if you look on the left, there's this kind of navigation bar here. I'm on the Teams button here. That will take me to outside all of my classes or all of my teams, and then I can go into a different team, for example. So I'm going to go into Arc Software 1. So I just went in that particular class, but now let me just click Teams again. It takes me right back out. Maybe I need to go into this one. Let's start in Arc Software 1. So what you're seeing here is it takes me immediately to the general channel. So for this particular class, I have 3 channels set up so far. I have a general channel, a Q&A channel, and a week 1 content channel. So if I go to the general channel, this is a sort of thread of everything that I've posted so far. Here's your welcome message that you also got on email. Here's some information about student ID. Here's a weekly Q&A meeting that I scheduled for Fridays. And then here's all these meetings I had deleted because I had that technical issue. But that's why you're seeing all that. But if I ever wanted to, say, contact the entire team class about anything, general channel is kind of where I'd start. If it pertained to a particular week's content, you might see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 content in here. Maybe I'll post it in there. It just depends. It just depends on what the content is. But if it's something that generally relates to the whole class, I'll post it in here. All assignments will be posted in here as well. Okay, so if you're looking for an assignment, it will always live in the general channel. So that's essentially what this is almost just like a chat feed more than anything. Now, if I go up to the top, it says posts, files, class notebook, assignments, grades. You're only going to see this up here in the general channel. If I go to Q&A, now it just says posts, files, notes, plus. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the general. So if ever I attach a certain file on here, and let's say we have had our team for 2 months and this thread's getting pretty long, I can just click on files and see whatever files were attached in that entire thread. This, when I click on files here, will just show different files that were attached. No messages, nothing like that. So it's a good way just to be like, oh, I need this. There it is. Now, if you notice in here, there's a class materials folder. If I go in there, that's where you're going to find the syllabus. Syllabus will always be in here, and sometimes I'll update it and put it right back in here. So you get your most up-to-date syllabus will always be located here. All right, so I'm gonna go back to posts. So if I ever want to go back there, just click files and I'm back there and I can go in class materials and I can get whatever it is I need. Okay, class notebook. We can ignore this for now. I may or may not use it this semester, but it's a sort of interactive notebook that we can all use. Not totally that helpful, I found yet, but maybe we'll find some use for it. Assignments is exactly what it means. This is where I'm going to be posting your assignments, assignment 1, 2, 3, down the line, and you'll see all those in here. This is where you're going to go to actually submit work for a particular assignment. And then grades, if I click on that, once I make an assignment, you'll see your name and the assignments up here and the grade you received for each. So you won't see everyone's grades, you'll just see your grades. So very handy stuff. This is, again, you'll only see all of these features in the general channel. Now, the only other channels I made here, the Q&A, this is going to be like, hey, if you have a question for me that you don't want to email, put it right on here. Go right down to start new conversation. Say, hey, Kevin, what's the deal with this? And then I can post an answer, and then the whole team can benefit from it because they can see this. Okay, so if you'd rather email me or if you'd rather chat with me, which we'll go over in a second, you can do that. That's fine. But if it's just a general question that you think others would benefit from, put it on here so others can see the answer I post, and then maybe I don't have to answer 50 emails, for example. Okay, week 1 content is going to be all the lectures I post this week. So I already posted one. Remote Architect Desktop Access, very useful lecture there. There's a YouTube link in here. And I will be posting this lecture we're recording right now as well and put that in here. And that will be the lecture and course on Teams. And that will pretty much do it for week 1. I may put in the AutoCAD graphical user interface, but the way the technology is kind of moving right now, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So that's where we'll post that. And as with this semester moves along, I'll put more channels in here, and it should be clear on where everything is and where to find things. So that is basically it for our simple kind of class navigation. Now, let's go over a couple more things. Specifically, I want to go over this whole left-hand bar. If ever you just wanted to chat with me, I could go over and click on the chat button here. And I could click on new chat, and you could enter my name up here. Let's see if I can do it myself. I don't think you can, although that would probably freak me out. But I could write one to, like for example, Ken Wenger. He's a IT specialist. So I could type a message to him. This is just like email. Only Ken and I are seeing this. Okay. Here's a lot of chats that I've had already. You can send me questions directly on chat. We could set up a meeting to meet with a video call or something like that, whatever works best for you. But if you ever want to get a hold of me, you can chat through here. If you ever want to get a hold of any of your classmates, you can chat through here. Okay, so in Teams, if I click on Teams, I just clicked on it once. I went back to where I was because I was already in here, this Arc Software 1 Week 1 content. But if I click it again, I can get out of that class completely and I can go into another class. Now, for assignments, I haven't created any assignments yet, but I could, now these are all my other kind of classes that I've created already, say for spring and things like that. But I could go to a class like Arc Software 1 Fall 2020 and click next and say, see the assignments that were posted for that class. So this is a sort of global navigation for assignments of all your classes if they're on Teams. Otherwise, I could just go to my team and then click on assignments here and they'd be listed here. So sometimes that's useful to go into this broader navigation. I think it's more useful for me because I make assignments for all kinds of classes. Okay, the next thing I want to show you, and this one's really important, is calendar. Okay, so here's my calendar, and this is the same calendar that you actually have on your Outlook email. So you have Outlook email, but then you also have a calendar feature there. So if I go, let's see if I have it open. Well, here, let me just go in current students, student email. Okay, here's my email. Now, I could go down into the, let me just get rid of this, bottom left-hand corner. I'm on my email, and the next one over is calendar. So here's September 1st. Here's all of our meet and greets coming up on Friday right here. You'll see exactly the same thing in the Teams right here. So here it is for Friday, all those meetings. Okay, so let's say that you're in this first meeting. Okay, here's how you would connect with it once the meeting starts. So let's say I'm in Teams. I'm like, oh gosh, I know I got this meeting at 7:30. How the heck do I get to it? I go in here, I can't find anything. Where the heck is it? Just go to your calendar. I already sent you an invite. And then you can click on whatever one you have. Say it's this one. Okay. And you can just go in the upper right-hand corner and click join once the meeting starts. And boom, you'll be in. And typically, I think a good rule of thumb to get used to our video world is maybe don't share your camera or your microphone right away. Just get in there, enter the meeting, and then you can always turn those things on, and I will explain that all to you on Friday. That way you're never caught off guard, and you can sort of get situated before the meeting starts. But it'll take some getting used to. Trust me on that one. So I'm just going to close this. So again, best way to kind of connect to a meeting is just click on one of these, hit join, and boom, you're in the meeting. Now, the next one down is calls. So let's just say I wanted to make a call, say with Jessica. I could go ahead and do call contact here, or I could do video contact here. I could just do it right now and I would call them. And I don't use this all the time, but this, sometimes I do when I need to get a hold of faculty and stuff. But typically, the calls that we have on the Teams platform will be for meetings that you and I have already set up, and you can do that through the calendar. That'd probably be the easiest way. Let's see here. So if I go to files here, this is just sort of list of files from all my different classes. So it's kind of a master list. So if I'm working on something with somebody, sometimes it's good to just click on this and go to that file and you can get there quicker. I don't use that one. I barely use this one. I barely use calls. I use calendar a lot. It's where I make my appointments. That's where I send them out. That's where I connect with different meetings. I use assignments a lot. And of course, I use Teams now, this like kind of primary navigation of all my classes. I think that's pretty much good for now. I would try to get in here and try to feel comfortable with the platform, and just before we meet up on Friday. And if you're in here and you're feeling comfortable, why don't you go up to chat, type in my name, Kevin Kinney, look for me, send me a chat and say, hey man, all things are going good. Or say, hey, I am in left field and I'm totally freaked out. That's fine too. But you can be freaked out right now because I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you, but we will clear everything up on Friday, especially if we can meet one-on-one, or just as the semester goes, we'll get more and more comfortable with this. But I'd sure love to hear from all of you and just to say, hey, I'm here and I'm doing the best I can. And a chat feature would be great for that. So I look forward to hearing from you. And we will see each other very soon, at least virtually. So, all right, guys, have a good night.